back over. And one of the things, I mean, I was thinking as we're watching all this, what a great play, what a great shift for Saskatchewan. The whole game was like this. Saskatchewan played great. And as Adam pointed out, Buffalo still beat them 9-7 because Buffalo's defense is doing equally terrific things. I just thought this shift was so great to watch. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is this a preview of the finals, do you think? That's my prediction.
I mean, right. It could be. You know, I have to say that Halifax right now, the way that they're looking, I would say the next most complete team behind these two, right up there with them, I think, really. And then, yeah, I would say San Diego could be thrown in there, but I'm a little less sold on them than Halifax. And then you can't not talk about Georgia making a sneaky run either.
Honestly, I feel like it's the most likely scenario is these two teams in the final at this point. When you start looking at like who's playing well, we've got a third of the season still to go, and we've seen teams can get hot, can get cold. I think somebody's going to go on a heater down the stretch. It could be, I'll throw a dark horse out, Vancouver. They're the only team not in a playoff position right now that has a positive goal differential. I think Vancouver could make some noise. They might not. There's so many teams in the mix there. I mean, Rochester is playing well. If Rylan Hartley keeps playing great, they are a bit of an underappreciated team, which is foreshadowing for the next section when we look at underappreciated players. But I think kind of anybody in that middle of the group has the potential. Yeah. I do like Georgia and their chance to come and do something. Halifax, obviously. I almost feel like Halifax, are they peaking too soon? You never know. I mean, you want to keep winning games.
Fair point.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, are Buffalo and Saskatchewan peaking too soon? I don't know. I think there's a lot of opportunity, but I mean, if Buffalo's not in the final, we'll all be pretty surprised. But bear in mind, a year ago, Buffalo that won the championship and looked so awesome was in overtime in the first round, the quarterfinals with Georgia, and was, you know, a couple inches away from not even getting to the semis.
Yeah, exactly. And it is going to be interesting, that fight for those home playoff games in the first round, you know, because, you know, when you look at scheduling, and you mentioned Rochester, they have the easiest schedule, at least as it stands now going forward, compared to really any of the other playoff contenders or current playoff teams. And that's going to benefit them if they can really continue this beginning of a hot stretch that they're on.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Colorado, who's been in 2 of the last 3 championship series and you know, are looking pretty good. They've got Dylan Ward, they've got Ryan Lee, seems to be back at full. I mean, it's been good. And we should probably stop looking at that screen because I think it's probably pretty ugly when we get to the 1 and 4. Holy cow. Let's get rid of that screen. And I think that's probably the first section. Get rid of it. Are you not listening to me? Thank you. Come on. It's not time for humiliate the host yet. Anything else you want to talk about over the past weekend, Adam, before we move on to our underappreciated players?
You know, I was really excited. Well, yes, I actually do. I was hoping that Nick Rose was going to have a better kind of standout breakout game in his debut with the Calgary Roughnecks. You know, it's unfortunate that he came out with a loss. Still played well. But, you know, it would have been nice. And I believe I've said, you know, as a writer and, you know, Stamper, you know, the story is always fun. And I was hoping that would kind of be the start of something special in Calgary. And I think that they're still going to be doing well in this final third here. But I wish that we had really seen a standout performance from Nick.
And that's a team, the other team that we didn't mention. I was going to mention them. I'm like, well, they lost to Colorado. But, they've got Nick Rose. They've got, you know, Jesse King and Curtis Dixon and Dane Dobie and all the guys up front, Tyler Pace. The defense, I think, is looking good now. They lost Robert Hudson. They bring in Tyler Hendricks. We'll see how that impacts them. But with the trade. But the one thing about that game I thought was, I thought Nick Rose played his game. I thought he played fine. But Colorado was shooting really, really well. Like you look at 5 or 6 of those goals were just perfect placement. You know,
which is what you expect from them.
Yeah, it happens, right? I mean, so and how much of that one did you get to see? Given your anniversary extravaganza?
Not very much. I did bring my computer on the trip, and then I was like, you know, I'm not actually going to do a lot of work. So it was been some catch up over the last couple days, but yeah, it's I am very excited over the next few days. Although I have some very exciting pieces coming out on Inside Lacrosse this week that I'm knee deep in, but finding time to squeeze in those games ahead of this exciting weekend coming up, which we'll be previewing and making our picks for at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'm Team Nikki on this one. I think it was the best thing you could have done was go out. Don't worry about watching lacrosse for one weekend.
Yeah.
Go out and enjoy the festival and the San Diego sunshine. I assume it was sunny. It's pretty much always sunny, right?
It was surprisingly not as sunny and not as hot as I was thinking. It was only about 15, 16 Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit. Somewhere around there. I know my numbers might be a little bit off, but yeah, it was and then some rain actually towards the end on Sunday. Clouds in the morning, lots of wind. So wasn't the San Diego weather I was expecting, but that didn't put a damper on our time.
Yeah, it was still, I mean, it's getting above zero here, but it was still mostly below 0 Celsius, and we still got a bunch of snow, and then we had rain, and it was all like melting, and it's moving from winter into muck season. So yeah, you're not getting a lot of sympathy on the 60-degree temperatures out there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you enjoyed the festival. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to look at 5 underappreciated players. We're going to look at more than 5, but we're going to choose our 5 underappreciated players in the National Lacrosse League this season. This is Inside the World of Box Lacrosse. Adam Levy, Steven Stamp, and Greg Beecher and Blue Squatch Productions in the background.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all the support. If you would like to watch the full video, click the in-video link in the description. Also consider subscribing and even channel membership. Buy us a beer a month or a cup of coffee, whatever you'd like. We'd like it either way. Thank you.